The following is an Investor Brand Network audio production via our audio press release solutions. As a multifaceted financial news and publishing company, Investor Brand Network utilizes its network of more than 5,000 distribution partners as well as other corporate communication tools to introduce public and private companies to a wide audience of investors, consumers, journalists, and the general public. Investor Brand Network's platform connects the investment community with companies that have great potential and a strong dedication to building shareholder value. The following audio press release may feature a client partner of Investor Brand Network. Investor Brand Network may have been compensated for the production of this audio production. Please be sure to read our entire disclaimer for full disclosure.
NetworkNewsWire presents, Can Diabetes Weight Loss Drugs Get Even Better? The prestigious New England Journal of Medicine recently published results of a large study of 2,539 adults wherein weight loss of 49 to 52 pounds was a common outcome. With more than 37 million Americans suffering from diabetes, and with obesity at epidemic levels, it's little wonder that millions of people are singing their praises of the new class of drugs responsible for these outrageously positive outcomes. GLP-1 agonists are a class of medications that mainly help manage blood sugar or glucose levels in people with type 2 diabetes, but are also helping treat obesity. Seems everyone is excited about controlling blood sugar and easily losing weight, but there may be an even better avenue to increased effectiveness and better outcomes. Lexaria Bioscience Corp, NASDAQ ticker symbol LEXX, a global innovator in drug delivery platforms, began diabetes-related formal studies last year with its DehydraTECH platform, which showed reduced blood sugar levels and lowered body weight. With such encouraging early results, Lexaria is planning to launch new human and animal studies to examine whether DehydraTECH processing can make GLP-1 drugs, such as semaglutide, even better. Lexaria's heavily patented DehydraTECH drug delivery technology might improve bioavailability, lower costs, and enhance tolerability, weight loss potential, and management of diabetes and other health conditions. DehydraTECH may become a game changer in the multibillion-dollar GLP-1 drug market and could potentially lead to a collaboration with a dominant player in the space, such as Novo Nordisk, NVO, Pfizer Inc, PFE, Merck Company Inc, MRK, or AstraZeneca PLC, AZN. Lexaria's DehydraTECH is easily integrated into oral product manufacturing processes to better deliver API payloads to improve bioavailability, reduce side effects, and more. Lexaria is evaluating the impact of DehydraTECH on oral performance of GLP-1 drugs for diabetes and weight loss, a market forecast to reach up to an astonishing $200 billion per year. DehydraTECH is a scalable technology for a multitude of applications that has separately been licensed by Altria for oral nicotine products. DehydraTECH promotes fast-acting, less expensive, and more effective oral drug delivery and has been thoroughly evaluated through in vivo, in vitro, and human clinical testing. Diabetes and obesity rates soaring. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 37.3 million Americans have diabetes, while another 95 million adults, 1 in 3, have prediabetes, of which 80% are unaware of having it. Globally, the World Health Organization estimates 422 million people had diabetes in 2014, nearly quadruple the number in 1980. Because diabetes is often closely connected to obesity, it is a chronic and growing problem around much of the world. The CDC says that obesity prevalence in the United States was a whopping 41.9% in 2017. The WHO shows that more than 1.9 billion people worldwide were overweight in 2016, underscoring the spike in diabetes diagnoses. Against this backdrop, it shouldn't be surprising that analysts at Markets and Research estimate the global diabetes drug market at $63.1 billion in 2021 on its way to $82.93 billion in 2027, while the global market for diabetes devices was valued at another $26.1 billion and growing 7.5% annually. Due to the pain and unpleasantness of injections, many diabetes sufferers prefer to treat their condition with drugs rather than devices, if they have the choice. Some of the most popular type 2 diabetes in recent years are GLP-1 or glucagon-like peptide-1 receptor agonists. They work by mimicking the effects of the naturally occurring hormone GLP-1, which helps to regulate blood sugar levels and appetite. Lexaria Bioscience Corp, NASDAQ ticker symbol LEXX, began its DehydraTECH diabetes-related formal studies in 2022 with compelling data, highly relevant to diabetes, showing positive effects of lowering glucose levels, body weight, and triglyceride levels, as well as evidenced increased locomotor activity. With such positive early results, Lexaria is expanding its diabetes study program, including using DehydraTECH for GLP-1 drugs alone and in combination with other molecules. More precisely, the company is adding a growing body of evidence showing that DehydraTECH improves the way active pharmaceutical ingredients, or APIs, enter the bloodstream through oral delivery, the preferred method of drug delivery by patients. The company has already evidenced the tech to improve the pharmacokinetics of a variety of drugs, including PDE5 inhibitors and antiviral drugs, as well as facilitate the transfer of drugs across the blood-brain barrier, a notoriously challenging component in drug development and potential key to treating addiction and neurodegenerative brain disease. Now, Lexaria has its sights set on diabetes and obesity. Lexaria will launch new human and animal studies to examine DehydraTECH processed GLP-1 drugs, including but not limited to semaglutide, which is sold under Novo Nordisk's brand names Ozempic, Wegovy, and Rybelsus. The studies will evaluate its technology platform for improved bioavailability, cost-effectiveness, tolerability, weight loss potential, management of diabetes, and more. Per the drug value formulation calculations of Baybridge Bio, Lexaria is at a launch point in the valuation curve with the upcoming clinical studies. DehydraTECH in 4 sentences. DehydraTECH technology is incorporated into the formulation and manufacturing process of existing or new orally ingestible and topical products. It involves mixing the API as a delivery payload with certain fatty acids, infusing the mixture into a substrate material, and then using controlled dehydration synthesis processing to associate the payload and fatty acids together at a molecular level. The newly combined molecules are then integrated into end product production across a range of dosage form factors, including pills and capsules. The output is essentially tasteless and odorless and works symbiotically with physiological systems to enable improved and faster absorption of drugs into the bloodstream and brain tissues. Brilliantly simple from the top level, Lexaria has turned a complex process into a scalable platform applicable for a litany of both current and future drugs. GLP-1 changing history. Historically, weight loss drugs have been highly touted and equally miserable failures. Think fen-phen, Meridian, ephedra, to name a few. Demand is understandable. Hundreds of millions of overweight people are hungry for something that can help them lose weight and keep it off. To wit, analysts have repeatedly pegged multi-billion sales projections for drugs successfully penetrating this market. GLP-1 drugs are changing the course of weight loss history, and Lexaria intends to be a leader in the next generation of these drugs. The company said in September that its planned trials of new formulations of GLP-1 drugs, quote, could enable drug delivery via oral capsule at lower costs than current injectables, with reduced side effects and enhanced health benefits, end quote. That would be a real game changer in a burgeoning multi-billion-dollar market. In recent years, GLP-1 drugs realized success by targeting a novel mechanism of action to activate hormones regulating glucose while simultaneously decreasing appetite and stomach emptying. Showing this can be done safely and effectively, several drugs have earned approvals from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration for type 2 diabetes and weight loss management. New research strongly suggests that GLP-1 can also curb cravings for drinking, smoking, and other addictive behaviors, indications perfectly aligned for Lexaria's DehydraTECH platform. Making good even better. Most approved GLP-1 drugs are injectables, which has started a race for diabetes and weight loss drugs in oral form, including the objective to minimize current adverse effects such as nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, among others. This is exactly where Lexaria sees an enormous opportunity for DehydraTECH based upon results with other types of drugs that lessened negative side effects. Oral drugs are not only preferred for drug delivery by patients, but they are also far less expensive than the $900 per month in costs that is common for a regimen of a GLP-1 injectables. If successful in developing an oral option, Lexaria could find itself in a commanding position in a market for GLP-1 drugs that analysts say could balloon to $150 billion to $200 billion. That's a lot of headroom for a company with a market capitalization currently under $15 million. Patented, literally. Lexaria's unique drug delivery technology is validated by a wide-ranging patent portfolio. The technology is protected by 37 patents around the world, covering antiviral drugs, specific molecules for hypertension and central nervous system disorders, nicotine, NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, and vitamins. Also in development are patents pending that will further galvanize DehydraTECH for hypertension, hormone treatments, and other drug formulations. Lexaria has already caught the attention of tobacco juggernaut Altria, which has licensed Lexaria's DehydraTECH and agreed to pay royalties on any oral nicotine product sales. This alone could be a company maker, as DehydraTECH makes reduced-risk non-combustible nicotine possible, which could contribute to decreasing the more than 7 million deaths attributed to smoking every year and help Altria with its mission to move beyond smoking.
This audio press release is an original broadcast provided by Investor Brand Network, a multifaceted financial news and publishing company that delivers a new generation of corporate communication solutions, including news aggregation and syndication, social communication, and brand awareness tools. Investor Brand Network may receive payments for the services and solutions provided to its client partners. You should assume that the owners, officers, and directors of Investor Brand Network or financial analysts mentioned in this audio production may hold a position in and may intend to trade the securities on their own accounts. This audio production is not an offer or recommendation to buy or sell any securities mentioned in this audio production. The information in this broadcast is presented solely for informative purposes and is not intended to be or should it be construed as investment advice. As in all investments, investment in the featured companies carries an investment risk. Listeners should review the companies thoroughly with a registered investment advisor or registered stockbroker. This audio production by Investor Brand Network is not purported to be a complete study of the featured company or other companies mentioned. Information used and statements of fact have been obtained from featured companies and other sources but not verified nor guaranteed by Investor Brand Network as to completeness or accuracy. Such information is subject to change without notice. Please see our full disclaimers and disclosures at investorbrandnetwork.com.